he believes in children. Thank you. He believes, and we're recording you, Day. He believes in children, and that's why he's on the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success that was stood up a few years ago with these really awesome initiatives, looking for things that can help our city children. And they bring their resources and their clout and their passionate ability to connect and build. Day is notable because he was very enthusiastic. So I reached out and said hi. And he has all this great connections to MSO. He's a Morgan State grad from their electrical engineering department. He is a graduate out of computer science and engineering management out of Hopkins. And we have over 50 to 80 Hopkins students that did Science Olympiad in their states. And they're going to weekly mentor all these students of these teachers. Isn't that awesome? And you're going to have, awesome. Yeah. And then continuing on, he happened to have a few jobs that were at city schools. He was a city school employee, and he has some perspective of your employer. And then he went on to be a software entrepreneur, a software startup person. And then he is now a technology and innovation director in the mayor's office. Take it away, Deji.
Thank you so much, Kate. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here to talk with everyone, just very briefly. And I'm also grateful to Tisha Edwards, who's not here, the executive director of the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success, for her fearless leadership. Interestingly, my very first job out of Morgan State University, out of college, I graduated 2010, was with Tisha. And it was with Tisha in city schools at the time. She was chief of staff of city schools, later went on to be interim CEO. So I'm really grateful for all of the beautiful work that I've had the opportunity to do with Ms. Edwards. Again, and I also want to say thank you to everyone that's here. Thank you to all of the teachers that are taking our time to do this work. Just a bit, I'll talk a bit about myself in the context of like how important the work that you guys are doing is. So I had like a very fortunate, but like at the beginning, seemingly unfortunate scenario that led me into the engineering field. Like Kate mentioned, I studied electrical engineering at Morgan State University. I actually got an MBA from Morgan State University as well before I went to Hopkins for another master's. But I got into college with the intent to study medicine. That was the plan. I went into college for medicine, and by a stroke of fate, as it were, someone mixed up something with my records, and then had me in electrical engineering. And I thought to myself, I'll change it at some point. So I was taking both. I was going to like both the biology pre-med classes and the engineering classes. And this story I think is very important because it was through a program like this that I made the decision to like be an engineer. Like I attended one of the events that the teachers and the lecturers in the engineering program were hosting for freshmen, and it was a whole weekend away with competition, science competition, related type of stuff, and it just sparked an interest in me. And from there, I made up my mind that this was something I was going to do. But coming into college, it was completely different. I thought I was going to be a doctor by now, and the years have come and gone, and I'm so glad that I did not pursue medicine. I realized, longer down the line that, my reasons for wanting to be a doctor were flimsy, and I just wasn't cut out for it. So I'm glad I found myself, in engineering. Like, Kate mentioned, I have the privilege of now working in the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success, and essentially providing the technology that drives a lot of the programs and initiatives and, government assistance that's provided to families and children in Baltimore City. And it's really a pleasure. While I was at Morgan, actually, I also volunteered with a program called, and some of you may be aware of it, Advancing Minorities' Interest in Engineering, AMI. And I know in some like micro version how challenging it can be, to work with like middle schoolers, high schoolers. But I shared that story to let you know that what you're doing is very important. There is Deji, in the midst of those kids somewhere, that's going to find their way because of that single encounter. The experience that they get and the kind of spark that it gives on the inside. So thank you so much for all that you do. Just before I turn it back to Kate, on behalf of the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success, thank you guys so much for all that you do. We're really grateful for it, and we're excited about the future of the kids in Baltimore City, and look forward to supporting in more ways. Thanks again, Kate.
Deji, you're awesome, and we're looking forward to two things from you. One is how we can connect you and people like you with the children that these teachers work with. They would love, and that's why they go out of their way to spend so much time trying to spark interest. That was a great thought you inspired for them. And two is how we can get more students around the city to have those kind of experiences, even one time or something. We have a very easy starter entryway to do, Science Olympiad that escalates. Anything we can do to get more kids to get more exposed to STEM. What we know is that they have so little opportunities for any exposure, and there's so much great potential here.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Yes, but thank you. I will be talking to you. So
sure. Thank you. Bye.
You're great. Hey,